know, last night especially, you guys didn't have the same math advantage that you're always looking for. Is that just a product of just working in new personnel? What went into losing kind of that battle you've been winning for so long?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great team that also takes advantage of those situations. So I think when you're up against another team that does it, just the tension becomes harder to dictate that on the margin. So we just have to continue to get better at that. But you see a few other teams that are growing in those margins and making those a priority.
Joe, I know you said yesterday that you saw some things from Drew Peterson that you liked that made you go with him there. What's that process like, especially where he's not with the team consistently, of checking in on those things? Was it in a practice? Was it some film you watched? Like, what kind of led to that?
I mean, we just try to create an environment to where there's a lot of carryover. So the work that Tyler does with the G League team is very important because you want as much consistency. And so because of their work and the player development team, I trust that the environment's the same and that they're working on the same things that we are. So whether you watch a game or the edits that they have or just conversations, you're able to kind of just trust that there's carryover, there's continuity, and that gives people an opportunity to step right in. So.
Joe, I know it's 1 of 82 and the next game is the biggest one, but considering how much these two teams have matched up, particularly in the postseason, do you see this matchup against the Heat as a rivalry?
I mean, I would like to consider every game a rivalry, so you just a chance of trying to win that. So every single game is an opportunity to win, to take advantage of your opponent, to win the margin. So I'd like to think that they all are.
Joe, what's the latest on Jaylen?
I think he's still questionable. Just going through the process now and kind of see how he looks after his shooting time.
Game time.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about Peyton Pritchard and what you're seeing from him this year in terms of giving you a big lift off the bench.
Yeah, just continuing to find ways to be impactful, whether it's his ball pressure on defense, his rebounding. And then I think he's really grown into a 3-level scorer with his finishing at the rim, his pull-ups, and his three-pointers. So he's being relatively aggressive, which is good for us on the offensive end, but he does so much more, whether it's his rebounding and his defense, and just becoming more of a threat, whether he has the ball in his hands or doesn't have it.
Derek available, does he have any sort of restriction with the foot?
Nope.
So you trusted Drew on that review, on that challenge, and you lost it. And then there was the 5-second call. Like, do you regret kind of, or will you go into kind of how?
Well, you can't challenge the 5-second call. And then we didn't lose the challenge. There wasn't conclusive evidence that it was off him. And so I think there's a difference in the wording between call stands versus the challenge. I think on that second one, there just wasn't the right camera angle to see whether it had been off his knee or not.
How much do you go into trusting the players when, because it seems like every guy, the minute it's not off of them, looks at you and goes, let's review that. Peyton wanted to review a call.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the ones that are being, it's harder now to challenge just because of the addition of the proximate foul and the things that can go into it. And so we watch a lot of those as a team and say these are the ones that are might and might not. I think the thing that the players aren't aware of, nor should they be, is the timeout situation. So even if there is a winnable challenge, if it messes with the timeout situation, you're a little bit less likely to do it then. So I think on the Peyton one, we had just used our timeout, and so he wasn't wrong in that, but we didn't want to use it another one. On the Drew one, we had already won a challenge. It was a chance to save a possession, and so it seemed like the right time to be able to do that. But no, you can't have a regret. If there's a process to save points, whether it's the first play of the game or the last, the process is to save points and to get possession.
Besides their zone on that final play, were you pleased with how you saved the timeout?
Yeah, it was perfect. I thought we played it as perfect as we could. Even on the last play, I thought Peyton could have caught and shot it and put it in a different situation. But in a situation like that, with the fouling up 3, you try to get it down to the lowest possible seconds. I thought we did. Cleveland, a credit to them for making all their free throws, where any one of those could have been a need to. But I thought we, got it to the exact point that we could, considering the circumstances. The thing we could have done better was. The thing about Cleveland that they're great at is they have 2 7-footers that they play, and so you don't know where they're going to be on the floor. And so the need 3, if we could have got the 2 for 1, we may not have had the foul. But they put Mobley on the ball and switched them, and KP wasn't able to get a clean look off, and then we ended up shooting at 26 instead of 28. So that's kind of what got us into that situation. But the process of what we did, it gave us a chance at the end. Yeah.
Last question, Jay.
Jayson was on the injury report today, and then obviously he's available. Do you ever try to get him to sit games? Obviously, this is a stretch with a ton of games, and other guys are sitting at times to rest. Do you ever try to tell him, like, just, it's okay to take a night off sometimes?
No, I mean, I just trust the, you know, between the sports science team, between him, between Nick Sang, like, all those guys have a great process towards putting him in a position to always play, so, you know, you never wanna take away, all of our guys love to play, so if they don't, it's because they really can't, you know, and so I think it starts with that, and all those guys, and so after that, it's just, you take pride in the fact that the guys love to, and when they don't, you understand it, and so you just kind of go from there.
And then what does it do for you guys that he's been so durable and that he does play as often as he does? The minutes, the games, what does that allow you to kind of build on?
Yeah, just having, you know, you walk into the arena and you know you have a chance to win every night because your best players want to play and they can play and that they take care of themselves. So whether it's, really all the guys do a great job of that. So just as a coaching staff, it gives you an opportunity to put the team in